All right, college football. Wasn't a great weekend, right? I mean, Michigan won. We'll talk about that. Michigan State lost, but there's a lot to talk about with both of them. First, let's check out what happened.
Hand it off, Marshall again. Left side, huge hole. Marshall's gone. A house call at the big house. Singleton's going to run it. Singleton put his head down. I don't think he's going to get it. They didn't. For Manny Powell. Hand it off. Marshall bleeding his way towards the 5. And he snuck through. Touchdown, Michigan.
At the end of the day, we're 7-2, and we're in a position to do everything we want to accomplish and go win. And our leaders are going to take this thing by the horns. Our coaches are going to do that. I'm going to do that to make sure that we have it right where we need it to be and hold it to the standards. So we're excited. We're ready to attack it. But this week comes at a good time, you know, because those guys have played their tail off.
Pressure off the backside. He puts it up to Rodney Bullard, who's got the catch and space. And Michigan State has flipped this game. 71 yards. Milivojevic. He turns and gives to Tullis, and he's in. And Michigan State leads. Lindsey's got to sneak in, and he gets there. Standing tall and looking for the end zone. And out of the reach of Bullard, but a flag is down.
Pass interference, defense number 14. After discussion, there is no foul for defensive pass interference.
Wow! It's third down. Lindsey looking for it all for Blackington, and a flag comes in. And Joe Rossi hates it. Boy behind Behrman. Lindsey rolling out. Gonna take it himself. He does for the win.
The mood's not great. It's tough. It's quiet. These guys put a lot into it, and they put a lot into those 3 hours we just spent out there. This thing's not easy. Not every call's going to go your way and things, and this is an emotional game. Those are the calls.
All right, Michigan wins 21-16. Not exactly going to garner style points, but you don't have to. They needed to win. They posted it. Now they get a week off, and then it's on to the final three. But watching that game,
yeah, that was ugly.
What gave you pause?
Well, obviously their offense and Bryce Underwood still struggling in the passing game, of course, but they lost their number one receiver during the game, McCauley, and Justice Haynes maybe out for the year, and whatever, injuries happen. It was right against a team like Purdue. They should handle them more easily, but Michigan should just thank the Lord or thank whoever that they have Jordan Marshall. Because that guy carries 185 yards and carries all of it. And it's not like their offensive line has been dominant either. They're just scraping by, get through the bye week, and see who they get healthy.
And carries defenders sometimes. I mean, his third and final touchdown from 9 yards out, he plowed through 4 or 5 tackles to get in. And then on the game-clinching drive, when they melted the final 6 minutes off the clock, he runs, I think, 6 times for 50-plus yards and 3 key first downs. He was huge for them. But Underwood, underwhelmed.
Fair enough.
Again, I think for the season has largely been underwhelming. And he doesn't have a great cast of pass catchers, and that's a problem for them to solve in the offseason. But for them to have a legitimate chance, and they still do, to make the playoff, a.k.a. beat Ohio State, they will need more from their 5-star QB.
Well, they'll need less, too. He can't throw interceptions, and he can't fumble. And he hadn't been doing that until this game.
And if they're going to beat Ohio State, he has to carry 37 times. Right?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Less is more, kind of.
Michigan State. Listen, Aiden Childs has not been good, and I'm certainly not sitting here saying that was the wrong move. But just in the span of a year plus what we've seen this season, the thought of him being benched last year I think would have shocked anybody, because I think he was tied at the hip to Jonathan Smith. And you felt like those two were going to make or break each other. And quite frankly, it felt like this kid was going to come on and he was going to make that head coach. But it hasn't happened, and you are where you are. And my 2025 brain just looked at it and said, okay, he's already in the portal.
Well, probably. And if your coach is maybe going to be leaving, you might as well get yourself untied at the hip at some point. You know, and I don't give
Jonathan, the coach untied him.
I don't give Jonathan Smith that much credit for getting his team to play tough a little bit in that game, but that was the right move.
Well, yeah, let's give Milivojevic credit because he threw for over 300 yards and had them in position. And certainly there is a questionable pass interference call that was picked up that went against Michigan State. Or they might have.
That never happens.
Listen, Childs is full of talent. I think we all know that. But it's amazing what happens when you're not playing Boston College's defense. That really was his best game this season, back when everything seemed possible for both him and the program, and maybe even the coach during that 3-0 start that I think we all knew was bolstered and propped up by beating bad teams. But here Michigan State finds themselves where they found themselves 2 years ago, likely needing a new head coach and likely almost certainly needing a new quarterback. And Alessio, I'm not going to try to say his last name, but he played well, and maybe he's an answer. And if there's one layer now of interest to the season down the stretch, is what can he do in their final 3 games?
Right, with the receivers.
From where Childs was last year, when we were all anticipating at some point there would be a big step, it just never happened.
Yeah. No, it really didn't. And but that's young quarterbacks, you know. And I guess I'm not surprised. But the fact that they at least. Still, I don't give Jonathan Smith job security any change from that game. No, even if they had beaten Minnesota, and to be honest, I think they deserved to beat Minnesota in that game. Watching that game, that second half, they kind of dominated it. But even if they had, I think his status is the same, and that being after the year.
This is it right here, because it feels like it's just a flat line right now when you talk about Michigan State football. There's no excitement. Let me get to the Pistons.